my wonderful team has given me the suggestion that it would be a good idea to have some video blogs on our website, so that when parents go searching, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, when they're pondering and worrying about a parenting problem, that they might be able to find something online instantly that they can just listen to and maybe be reassured that they can find a solution, and that they're not the worst parent on the planet. So that's what we're doing, and some of you may have heard me be described as a parenting expert. I'd like to reassure you that I'm not. When I began my intensive breeding program many years ago, I didn't know anything at all actually about babies and toddlers. I was a high school teacher. So much like many of you, unless you have a 4-year degree in early childhood, you really don't know all the things that are going to come along once that bundle of joy is popped into your arms. How many of us got fooled by the fantasy of being a mummy and a daddy with a beautiful sleeping baby? I think lots of us were. And if there's one thing I wish we'd tell lots and lots of parents before they start having babies, even healthy, normal babies cry a lot. That would, honest to goodness, that would have made my first journey into parenthood so much easier. So part of what my mission is to come back to common sense and practical solutions for parents, because every single one of us has moments when things go belly up and it doesn't work. Everyone buggers up as a parent. What we'd like you to do is only bugger up about 20% of the time, and then 80% of the time, because you're getting information that gives you other ways of seeing your journey, that will help you make better decisions, because we're all doing the best we can with what we know. And so are your parents ultimately doing the best they could with what they know. We have a world with too much information, and parents are telling me that if they Google an issue that they have, they may find 12 websites with 12 different viewpoints on what is exactly right or wrong. And I'm going to say to you that's rubbish. There is no one right way or one wrong way, and that in between those two ends, there'll be a solution that you could try that might make things a bit easier for you. So, big breath in. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. So stop trying to do it. But big breath in. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. Now, all of you will have moments when your children will embarrass you in public. Just don't take it personally. All of you will have moments where you, honest to goodness, will have a meltdown in your home, often just as you're trying to get out the door. Don't you reckon that's, all bowling out the door and there's a random poo? No, you haven't failed. You have children, and children aren't good with time. And I think sometimes we forget they are children. They're not little adults. We need to cut them a lot more slack. And if we could slow their lives down, they would actually cope better. But that means we have to slow our life down. So the first 5 years as a parent is where all our foundations are laid down for the whole rest of our life, emotionally, socially, cognitively, psychologically, mentally, and spiritually. If you can invest as much energy as you can into your children in the first 5 years, the next part's going to be a bit easier. So over our continuing blogs that we are going to do, we're going to give you those sorts of suggestions. We're going to come up and possibly have a chat about the most commonly asked things that I'm asked at the end of seminars. But mostly I want you to know that your children are yours. You brought them on this planet. You are responsible for them. You know them best. So don't let any random expert like myself take away your power of making choices, but let us contribute to a good source of knowledge for you to make decisions that will work. Know that just because you've had a great run with the first child, the second one might not go so well. We're going to talk about how the power of temperaments makes parenting interesting at times. Don't presume that just what they've done at this stage, they'll do at the next stage. Don't hurry up their childhood, and you wish away this part of their life. Do you remember wishing that they could talk? And those of you with chatty girls wish they would shut up. Those of you who wished they could walk and now you can't find them. So every single stage of development will have kind of pluses and minuses, and we need to embrace all of it, because that's what the parenting dance is about. It's unpredictable. Our children are meant to be chaotic, noisy, dirty, challenging, and also to make our heart melt and make us feel blessed that we've been chosen to be a parent, as some people don't get that beautiful gift. So as we launch off into some of these blogs, know that my focus is always common sense. Please don't take anything as you're doing it wrong. No, no, no. Like I said, I've left my first baby home when I went shopping, and not many of you have done that. So nobody could have made more mistakes than me. at the moment, my 4 sons are actually alive, well, with all their bits, and they still love their mum. So that's the only part I have credibility, other than the fact that I also read the research. It's the common sense stuff. And can I make one last suggestion? It used to take a whole tribe to raise healthy children, and it still does, but your tribe may be your neighbour and your girlfriends and your best friends. It may be the people who are in your childcare centre. Make a collective network of parents to support you, because they're the ones you need to have the coffee with as you bitch and whinge about the moments you can't get any sleep. They're the ones we ask the first. They're the first port of call, because they're breeding at the moment with this modern world, and then start looking for other answers. So make sure you create a network, and make sure those people like kids. You've got to like kids. And leave you with one last gem, and it comes from a wonderful professor in the Telethon Institute in Perth. And he was asked, what do you think is the most important thing about parenting? He says, in the first few years, somebody needs to be nuts about you. So I hope you're nuts about your children at some point in those first 5 years. Until next time, cheerio.